Time now to take a look at the international newspapers, and for that I'm joined by Katerina Vitosi. Hello, Katerina. We're going to start off with reactions to the latest unrest in Egypt.
Absolutely. We're going to kick off with the Egyptian independent daily Al-Masri Al-Yawm on their front page. A huge photograph, as you say, Claire, of those protests in Cairo, in Tahrir Square. The headline there, let me translate it for you. The masses chant, "Remove the decree or get out." That's their message to the President Mohamed Morsi after he introduced a decree which basically gave him complete autonomy with regards to decision-making in Egypt. It's an interesting article, therefore, to look at in Gulf News. They look at why are these protests happening? Remember, the president has said this is actually just a temporary measure to ensure that the revolution can continue as planned, really. But the Gulf News say that he isn't allowed to receive the benefit of the doubt in Egypt. They say that post-revolution Egypt, people are really quite cynical of their leaders. They say that history shows that when a president in the country gets power, they're really quite loath, and it takes some time before they will cede it. And also the timing of this decision by the president is quite interesting, according to the piece in Gulf News, because they say it seems slightly like the president may have been trying to just sweep this reform in the aftermath of all this sort of public approval of him brokering the ceasefire between Israel and Gaza. So quite a cynical crowd that the president's having to deal with. The piece does say whatever move the president now makes is going to be really key for the future of Egyptian politics.
Now, what are the Israeli papers saying about the Palestinian bid at the UN?
Well, the Jerusalem Post, on their front page, they lead with a piece talking about how Israel is planning to react to this UN bid to the Palestinian bid, for UN non-member observer status. They say, yes, they're going to have a measured response. Previous articles we've seen have said perhaps they would actually come out, all guns blazing and try and bring down the Palestinian Authority. But no, they say it's going to be measured. Why? According to Israeli officials quoted by the paper, they in fact want the the international community to focus on the Palestinian Authority's violation of international peace agreements rather than international attention actually being on the Israeli reaction. So that's kind of how they see that they're going to deal with the situation. However, a very interesting piece in Haaretz, actually, another Israeli paper says, give them a state. This is an editorial piece arguing that if Israel truly wants peace, surely it's easier to have a consolidated Palestinian entity to negotiate with rather than always having to sort of juggle between these two divided factions. They also go to say that this bid isn't really a threat to Israel militarily. It's just something which is really It's more of kind of a philosophical and anger, rousing the anger of Israel. So they say, look beyond that, give them a state. If anything, it'll make the lives of about 5 million Palestinians a little bit better.
You've also been looking at reactions to comments made by France's Minister of Industrial Renewal about steel magnate Lakshmi Mittal.
Yes, indeed. The Les Echos, this is the French daily, looks at the very angry reaction from India. This is Mittal's home country, about Arnaud Montebourg, saying they don't want the billionaire steel magnate in France anymore. Comments on internet forums saying that France is racist and perhaps they're got a phobia about capitalism. And in fact, this is something that's been picked up on by the Wall Street Journal, who say that France, if it wants to encourage growth, has to respect big business and it has to respect market realities. They say that the French government's accused Lakshmi Mittal of having no respect. This is something that they too have to respect big business in turn.
All right, thank you very much, Katerina, for taking us through the international press.